actually trained here before API when I was a little younger, before Coach Locke got with us, and so I'm kind of familiar with a lot of the movements that you were doing. There's a couple new ones like the ab one that you guys did there. I did the slide. I've done the pull. I've done that one as well, and the dynamic warm-up. So I'm pretty familiar with some of the workouts.
Do you ever think you'd compare a football workout with a NASCAR workout ever?
Well, to be an elite athlete, I don't care what your job is. If you're a NASCAR, if you're a golfer, you're a football player, basketball player, you have to be in peak physical condition. So, I mean, they might not be running, but sitting in a car going, 200 miles an hour for 500 laps, that's some endurance. You have to be hydrated. You have to be unbelievably mentally strong to be able to sit in there and do the same thing for hours on top of hours. And so, I mean, there's training that has to be done to be elite at anything.
How much has working with John Lott changed the way you train? I know that he came in to be the strength and conditioning coach with the team. Has it changed the way you work out?
I don't know if it's changed the way I work out. I feel like I've always pushed myself to work hard, but he's raised the bar, and he treats every person differently different in terms of what their specific needs are. So let's say you're offensive lineman and he feels as though you need to lose 10 pounds and it's going to make you that much more explosive, then he's going to challenge you to do that. If you're a defensive tackle that he feels needs to gain weight to be stronger and hold down in the trenches, he's going to challenge you to do that. And so I think he does a great job of finding each man what their strengths and weaknesses are, addressing those and pushing you.
Have you already got a few workouts in since you've been back?
Oh yeah, so I got to playing yesterday, got in there and got my workout in with the guys, and also worked out this morning. And it's important to get back into the groove of things. My teammates voted me as a captain last year, so that carries a lot of weight. You got to be responsible. You got to make sure you're leading by example.
Have you had a chance to meet any of the newer players?
Oh yeah, I met everybody. Everybody's over there working out, so I got a chance to meet everybody. So I'm really looking forward to working with the guys, the new guys, and a great 2010 season.
Do you feel not necessarily pressure, but additional motivation to really take a leadership role with Kurt going away and being the guy in the locker room now?
No, I'm not going to change anything I've done. I'm a quiet guy. I'm not going to say too many things, but I think people better understand the leaders you are by the way you work on the practice field, by the way you work in the gym, and things like that. I think that speaks more than actually just having to speak up and say anything.
From a workout standpoint, are you on a pretty tight nutritional plan as well?
Very tight. I have a personal nutrition and also a chef that prepares pretty much all my meals, and I did that a couple years ago just to try to regulate my weight. And my weight, I played a little bit too heavy, and I wanted to get down into the low teens, and it's been effective for me. So after all my workouts, I always drink my Mild Flex shakes and make sure I'm replenishing all the fluids that I've lost, and that's helped me out tremendously. To make sure I'm not losing anything, I'm always gaining from my workouts.
And
I was going to say, okay, go ahead.
You said you have a personal nutritionist and a chef?
Yes.
I was going to say, Chris Miller actually did an interview with, I think it was Extra 910 yesterday. He was saying Kurt Warner actually suffered a shoulder injury early last year, and that's kind of the reason the deep ball wasn't there most of the season. Did Kurt ever tell you anything about that?
No, not really. Kurt he's a Hall of Fame player. Kurt's one of the best quarterbacks that ever played this game, and if he was hiding a shoulder injury,
I think he was.
but I mean, he still had a Pro Bowl season. He led us deep into the playoffs. He probably had one of the best playoff games that anybody has ever seen, against the Packers. So I mean, he's an amazing player. We're gonna miss him a lot.
Yeah.
When you look at Steve Breston early, you said obviously you work with him every day. Are they ready to take that next step? Obviously, Breston's going to be the number 2 guy. You said it's going to be number 3 this year.
I think we've seen a lot of what Steve can do already. I mean, he's been explosive over the last 3 years, and Steve is getting the opportunity to go out there and be a number 2. It's also a contract year for him, so there's a lot of incentive for him to go out there and be at his best. And I know Steve's going to do that for us. Early's been working extremely hard. He's been working out. He probably took 2 weeks off after the last game. He's been working all the way through. His body looks fantastic. He's out there catching with Matt already, so he's building that camaraderie and that chemistry that we're going to need throughout the year, and I expect big things from him.
Obviously, Matt's a big topic of discussion for fans and media alike. When you look at him, you've worked with him, is he ready to take that next step, be the guy at quarterback, or you think there'll be a competition come training camp?
Well, I think they brought Derek in to compete, to motivate and push. And I think every time you compete, no matter what position it is, you're going to get the best player. And that's no different at the quarterback position. I think Matt's put in his time. He's earned the opportunity to go out there and be the leader of this team. We're going to do whatever we can to help him, support him, and be there for him to make sure he's successful.
Yeah. Last question for me. Obviously, you went on quite the trip the last few months. Talk a little bit about where you went and the kind of things you experienced.
I went to Asia, I went to China, I was in Korea, Japan, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Thailand, and then also went to India and Nepal. So I like to get around and travel a little bit and to see what all the world has to offer. I mean, it was a fantastic tour, and I look forward to being able to do some more of those.